Hey everyone, and welcome back. Let's get a little bit more practice in and talk about how we can remake this card right here. So what I've done here is I have the illustration, that's a Boolean property. I have the heading text property, the body Boolean property, body copy text property, and then we have the button property. So we are going to remake this. So let's grab our component or our card that we were using last time that's connected to our new test button. So we're just going to move everything over here. And so the way to just go about doing this, because I don't think we're going to need multiple cards, to be honest, because we can do a couple things here. We can, maybe there is a multiple card. I wouldn't say for color, because then you can just change color to, something like this or something like that if you really wanted to, change that color. And if we want to go more on brand with our product, we'd probably have something along the lines of, something like this but I'm going to actually keep it purple. I like the purple. Everything seems to look really nice in this. So what we're going to do is we are going to just create this as a component. It's already set up for you. And now we can just play around with the properties. So I'm not going to make variants here. I'm going to work on Boolean. So I'm just going to call this illustration. And right now the illustration is true. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go through every single property. And then I'm going to come back and actually, fix it. So I have heading. Right now that's true. I'm going to say text, heading, content. Boom, that's done. And then we have the another property, which is going to be another Boolean, which is going to be for the body copy. Body. So we're just going to call that true right now. And then we're going to do the text for the body. So as you can tell, we're moving really, really fast. And that's totally fine. I mean, I'm just going to call this one body content, because once you get a hang of it all, it's literally like lightning fast. And then we are going to Boolean toggle the button. Then I'm going to show you all the different variations that come out of this. So let's go into each piece and connect them all. So, oops. Now we got our illustration here. All we're going to do is we are going to go to the layer area and connect the illustration. Over here, we are going to go to the heading and connect the heading. And we'll also at the very same time, we're going to connect the content here. So we have heading content. So that's connected. You notice how the text changed because that's the text I set for it before. So then we have our body and our body content. And then our button over here, which also has its own properties. So I'll show you how that works in a second. And then we are going to toggle that as well. So if we now go to the parent level, we have everything nicely laid out. And it looks like just like your standard component. So I can shrink it, I can grow it, I can make that instance. So I'm just going to hold down Option, or in your case, if you're on Windows, that's going to be Alt. So I have this variation now. And now I can, I'm going to use my Lorem Ipsum plugin. But I can generate some text there. And okay, so now I can go ahead and make copies of this instance, but I can also start saying, okay, I just want this one to be like a heading, no button. So we have a different card variation like that. And this one is just going to be a button and some heading copy. This one over here is going to be a button or no button and an illustration included. Maybe there's no body copy here, or maybe there's no heading. So there's a lot of ways you can, mess around with this. But if I go into, say, one of my variations here and, use this test button, now I can actually, I'm going to hide this icon. And you notice this nested style hides as well, because you can't really apply an instance when the actual parent instance isn't there. So it's been toggled off. And, I can go ahead and, write stuff. And there you go. And this will be hoverable because it's based off of this component. So if I start a new prototype, like flow 2, and then I go into my prototype over here, my presentation view. So it's always going to be interactive. So that's how you combine components. That's how you create variants within components. And that's how you work with component properties with multiple components as well. So now we have all the necessary skills we need to create some really interesting and reusable cards, buttons, and other elements.